Daring Abroad, brought to you by Equity.
Life abroad is not always that easy. Imagine you have a job, that's your livelihood, that's all you depend on. Then all of a sudden you lose it and you can't find other jobs easily. Do you relocate back home? Well, I've met a Kenyan lady in Australia who has been in that situation. Helen Meria is the director and founder of Options Education Agency, a leading student recruitment agency based in Australia. She's been living here for over 18 years.
What we do is we guide and we facilitate the whole process of students looking for international education to come and study in Australia. Mainly what we promote is Australia as a destination for our students in Kenya because there are so many options here for them. So mainly what we do is we will counsel them through that process, then we will submit the application on their behalf. They don't have to worry about how am I going to apply to this university. No, our staff is all very well trained. We upload the application to the university. It doesn't matter where the university is, whether it's here in Adelaide or it's in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, could be anywhere. And then after we do the application, we are the person, we become the mediator between the student and the university.
In addition to this, the agency also assists in the rigorous process of visa application.
The Australian migration law or the student visa laws keep changing every time. So what you found 2 years ago could be different from what it is now. So our staff is kept on training by the Department of Home Affairs, by the universities that we represent across our different locations. And with that, they are able to apply for this visa using the most professional methods which are in place, and at the end the visas are granted.
And you may want to know the cost of studying here.
To do a full degree, it will on average cost you between 60,000 Australian dollars or 70,000 Australian. That's like 10 million Kenyan shillings.
Mm-hmm. So that's scaring Kenyans already. They will say
that is for the whole duration. Yeah. Remember, it's a period of 3 years. But at the end, the reward is fantastic because that child, a lot of those children, when they finish, they are able to take the advantage of the post-study work visa, and a lot of them are able to work.
Some students are lucky to get full or partial scholarships, which are offered directly by the universities. Others are able to supplement their fees through part-time jobs.
I would estimate an average of $20 to $25 an hour.
Which is like how much in Kenyan shillings?
That's like 1,500 per hour.
They're allowed how many hours per week?
And they're allowed 20 hours a week. That's enough to pay for your accommodation, your food, your everything, if you're able to get the 20 hours. But it's still more because, okay, you may be taxed, but not very much because you are still within the low tax bracket.
Options Education has been in operation for 10 years now and has offices in Uganda, Nigeria, Kenya, Australia, and the Philippines.
Every office we have a country manager, and with all this, with our good, nice structure, we are able to share some of those travel requirements.
Helen, who is an accountant by training, started this business in her living room out of necessity after she was retrenched from her previous job. And over time, her business has grown from a sole proprietorship to a limited liability company registered both in Australia and Kenya. In Kenya, their offices are in Nairobi, Eldoret, Nyeri, and Nakuru. She currently has a staff of about 30 employees. According to Helen, her agency makes follow-ups to ensure students stay on the right path.
When students sometimes come to Australia, they feel that freedom. I'm now free. Mom is not here, dad is not here, and they feel they are very free. And with that, they end up sometimes getting into the wrong company. And when you get to the wrong company, you will not be able to go ahead with your program. Your enrollment is key. If you don't get enrolled, if something happens and you are kicked out of class, it's not just the university which will kick you out. The government system will notice that you have been kicked out because the university has the responsibility to report you if you don't attend class less than 80% of the time. So if they report you to immigration, they will cancel your enrollment, and a lot of students get so depressed.
The daughter of Kirinyaga County says despite having a team of highly dedicated and skilled staff, her business heavily relies on partnerships. She works closely with over 31 universities.
Typically, Kenyan students enroll in our health-related programs. About half of our Kenyan students are enrolled in nursing or other health or allied health programs, but also in the areas of social work, in business and engineering and IT.
In fact, our first international student in Adelaide was a Kenyan student. We now have almost 300 to 400 students from African backgrounds. Most of them are from Kenya. We work very closely with educational agents, including Options.
Options also partners with other agencies such as Study Adelaide, a government marketing agency that promotes the city of Adelaide as a study destination to international students.
So education agents are really important when it comes to recruiting students, but also supporting students when they are in Australia. How we can work with Options is provide them with destination marketing material, student testimonial stories to help them educate and increase the profile of Adelaide in Kenya, and I guess allow parents and students to understand what studying in Adelaide might be like.
Since incorporation, Options has been able to successfully assist a number of Kenyans to pursue their dreams in various learning institutions across Australia.
In fact, here in South Australia, we've had Kenya as a top 10 source market of students, whereas for Australia it's top 30. So I can only attribute...
Top 10 in the world.
Top 10 out of all the countries in the world. Kenya is a top 10 market for South Australia. And I absolutely attribute that to the hard work and dedication that Options, and so Helen and her team have been doing. Given they are based in Adelaide, you know, they are able to talk about Adelaide with authority and with passion, and really give that reassurance to students that if they choose to study in Adelaide, they've made the right decision.
One such beneficiary is Martin Kamande, a mechanical engineer who works with a private company. He studied at the University of South Australia and has been living in Australia since 2012.
So we're in management consulting in the oil and gas sector. So what we basically do is for companies, big companies like Santos, we do work for them. We're basically contractors for them. We do alignment plans, we do PNIDs, we do so more or less connections. So we connect gas from where it's drilled to where it's processed. Basically, that is the day-to-day work.
Beth Mahasi is another beneficiary of Options education. She studied on half scholarship at Torrence University and was lucky to be employed at the same institution upon completion of her studies. She is the university's business development coordinator for South Australia.
I have responsibilities to look after our African students and our offshore students in Africa with their applications to enroll to come and study at Torrence University. Torrence has about 10 campuses spread around Australia, so I have responsibilities over all our African students in all our campuses.
For Helen, to succeed abroad, one must be resilient.
The biggest challenge at the moment that we face is mainly the staff, especially to get good, well-trained staff, because in our business, it's a very specialized business. You don't just get anybody from the street and employ. They have to learn the whole process of the visa application, the college application. So we really have to spend a lot of time with one single staff before they get into it.
Helen adds that fraudulent agencies have had a spillover effect on her day-to-day business.
It affects us a lot because a lot of times when you meet new people who do not know you, they will start saying, no, I lost money in another scam somewhere with another agency. But always what we advise people is visit our website.
In spite of this, Helen is happy with her decision to start a business abroad.
It's a career opportunity that not many people think about it. It's all in the international education. And international education for places like Australia is a big industry. And as you know, as it's always said, it's actually one of the top exports for Australia. It's one of the biggest industry supported by the government, not just here, but even in other countries like America, like US, like UK. It's all over it's a very big industry.
And this is her take on the benefits of studying abroad on our Diaspora Bite.
It's clearly an investment on your child and an exposure too. It's not just an investment because it comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. Any investment you make comes with a cost. And a lot of parents who have brought one child, guess what? They have brought the second child because they visited them here on the graduation and their children are doing so well and they can see they are looking different, they are so well informed, their communication skills have changed.
Well, with determination, you can literally move mountains. Thank you, Helen, for sharing your story. And that's all we had time for. I'm Alex Chamada, signing off from Adelaide City, South Australia.
Daring Abroad, brought to you by Equity.